What if the clown isn't the scariest part? This lineup of 14 theories argues the real nightmare is the town, the rules it runs on, and the thing pulling those strings. It reframes every sewer scene and every adult's shrug. Across these entries, the scope widens, from local haunt to something that messes with memory, time, and choice. You'll see how each theory plugs into the next, building a picture that the movie only hints at, until the pattern feels undeniable. Number 1. Pennywise is not the only monster in Derry. The clown isn't alone, this theory claims. The twist reveals Derry breeds monsters, human and otherwise. The streets act normal while cruelty walks past in broad daylight. That's the tell. Why do adults ignore floating kids, bloody bathroom walls, and missing posters? Fans point to Henry's crew mauling weaker kids as a symptom, not the cause. A cop car rolls by and doesn't stop. A neighbor shuts blinds. The town trains people to look away. Watch the red balloon drift past a child murder as bystanders stare. Henry's father demeans and beats him. The pharmacist leans on boundary lines with Beverly. The black spot story hangs over everything like a stain that never dries. It reframes Derry as a nest, not a stage. Cross-cutting does the work. Supernatural beats intercut with casual civic life. Horror theory calls it moral anesthesia. The setting numbs action. People don't just fail, they're conditioned. Number 2. Pennywise is a fallen angel. Pennywise is a fallen angel, this theory claims, not a demon. A banished power with a warped job. Why the ritual language? The oath talk? The smirk at faith? He mocks prayer-like vows, yet treats promises like contracts. He taunts church spaces, but pauses when kids swear blood oaths. The joke lands, but the rules hold. Fans point to name-knowing and targeted temptation. He calls them by name, offers deals, and punishes when they break their word. In angelic lore, names and covenants bind. The deadlights read like a holy glow turned toxic, ecstasy that drains the will. Look at the visuals. The sewer chamber frames like a cathedral nave. Pipes form ribs. The sound swells like a choir that's off-key. When the deadlights hit, eyes glaze in a trance, like a corrupted benediction. The twist reveals a once higher being who now feeds low, less for hunger, more as ritual gone rotten. His jeers play as blasphemy from something that remembers the ceiling of the sky. If a fallen thing anchors here, the ground itself might be the altar. Number 3, Derry is a hellmouth. Derry is a hellmouth, this theory claims. The town isn't built on evil. It is the opening. Sewers converge like veins to a heart. Maps point every channel toward one spot, and that spot keeps humming. Disasters recur on schedule. Mills burn, floods hit, and people vanish without clean answers. The ground swallows evidence. Then it goes quiet, like it reset. Fans point to the old well house as a literal plug. When kids disturb the cap, activity spikes. Sirens fade near that block. Storms roll in along the same corridor. Fires and cave-ins cluster at the convergence. You don't need lore to see the pattern. The staging keeps drawing you to that drain. Urban myth studies call places like this thin places, where boundaries wear down. Water systems and caves mark the edge. Derry stacks both on the same grid. The cutaways linger on damp brick, iron ladders, and echo chambers for a reason. Number 4. Pennywise feeds on belief, not fear. Fear is the lure. Belief is the meal. This theory claims he stages scares not to kill, but to lock in conviction first. He taunts, then waits. The chase keeps going until a target accepts the illusion as real. That's why the jokes stall just short of the bite. He needs you to agree to the rules. Fans point to the projector attack. The slideshow stays goofy until the giant face snaps into "this is real" in their eyes. Then it lunges. Eddie's inhaler works as a talisman when he treats it like holy water. Bill's silver slugs hit hard when the losers load them with faith. Power tracks with conviction. When belief wobbles, he swells. When belief hardens against him, he flickers. Horror psychology backs it. Expectancy effects intensify threat. Believe the knife will cut and the pain spikes. The film mirrors that with props that only charge up through ritual belief. Number 5. Pennywise can't kill adults directly. He stalks kids but skews around adults, this theory claims. The camera shows children dragged into drains and hallways, while grown-ups pass by like they're sleepwalking. He shows teeth to kids. He shows glitches to adults. Adults vanish in fires, floods, and accidents, but on screen, he targets children. Why the selective hunting? The theory argues he needs witnesses who can believe what they see. Kids hold flexible rules. Adults hold dead rules. Fans point to how adults enable or ignore harm. The pharmacist talks sweet while crossing lines. Parents smother or threaten. A driver watches a beating and rolls on. He rarely manifests to slaughter adults. He lets them act as vectors. Kids are open to belief, so he can stage a form and feed. Adults are numbed by the town's script, like noise canceling for the supernatural. Genre backs it. Monsters pick vulnerable belief holders. Here, it hardens into a rule. Adult apathy shields exposure but blocks direct feeding. Number 6. The Losers Club is chosen by a higher power. The misfits aren't random, this theory claims. They're drafted, not by chance, but by a hand that prefers circles over lines. Coincidences stack. Timed meetings click like gears. Routes overlap at the quarry, the barrens, the school steps. 7 specific kids converge with the right blend of courage and belief. Why 7? The theory argues the circle needs a full set to lock. Now the beats. Walkie-talkies crackle at the right moments. The quarry pact lands like a right. The bicycle rescue yanks one into the group just before a split. The projector scene sinks their fear and attention. As if cued, these align too neatly for luck, fate, or something nudging pieces into place. Mythic structure frames the chosen circle as a counterspell. 7 is ritual-friendly. The camera helps. Ring formations, hands linked, bodies blocking in a closed loop. It plays like a spell taking shape on screen. Number 7. Pennywise is weaker than he pretends. The swagger is a mask, this theory claims. He acts huge, but only when the stage is set. The grin, the dance, the slow approach, they buy time to charge the fear. He postures, monologues, and retreats when mocked. He even negotiates with Bill. Why bargain if you can win? Because the win needs your buy-in. Without it, the claws don't land. Watch the theatrics stall. He drags out scares to harden belief. Then notice what breaks him. Insults and laughter cut his size. Light wounds from believed weapons hurt. A taunt, "You're just a clown," makes him flinch, then back off. The act cracks. Predator displays explain it. Animals puff up to look larger and avoid a risky fight. The film mirrors that bluff behavior. He expands, rattles, and tests resolve. When prey holds, he shrinks. Number 8. The turtle is still influencing events. A rival guardian swims under the plot, this theory claims. Not loud, not flashy. Just there when courage needs ballast. The turtle pops up as a model on a shelf, a sighting in water, a tossed-off joke. And yet, those moments land at turning points. A dare gets accepted. A plan holds. The symbol keeps returning like a steady drum under the chaos. Fans point to turtle beats near courage spikes. Water calms before action. Shell imagery frames choices in wide shots, slow and balanced. Even the camera lingers when that shape is present, as if giving the scene a spine. The theory argues these aren't Easter eggs. They're a quiet nudge that steadies hands. Myth backs the read. World turtles stand for order. They hold things up, anchor time, and guide heroes who would otherwise drift. Chaos clowns spin. Turtles stabilize. Number 9. Pennywise controls the entire town. He doesn't haunt Derry. He moderates it, this theory claims. Not a ghost in the pipes, but an admin for the whole system. Police miss patterns. Newspapers bury stories. Survivors forget the worst parts. That looks less like chaos and more like policy. Incidents happen in daylight, yet nothing sticks. Memory slides. Nerves go flat. Watch how sirens fade during attacks, as if volume dials turn down. Street scenes create perfect blind spots. Mail trucks, hedge lines, a bus pause. So danger sits in the open without tripping alarm. Missing person boards swell and nobody raises a voice. It feels like a system update pushed to every mind. New patch, new behavior, no notes. Cinematic blocking sells the metaphor. Extras stand just right to block the threat from frame center. Faces angle away on cue. The lens shows denial as choreography. Cross the street, reset the scene, carry on. Number 10. Derry exists outside normal time. The calendar lies here, this theory claims. Dates look normal, but the town runs on a bent clock. Events recur in clean cycles. Adults forget childhood terror like a file wiped and resaved. Streets and shops feel frozen past their era, as if the set never updates. Time stretches in tunnels. Scenes linger. Echoes stack, then snaps in memories with hard cuts you feel in your gut. Fans point to a 27-year rhythm that lines up with every reawakening. Flashbacks surface like fresh wounds rather than old scars. Edits jump between ages using mirror gestures, hands raised, bikes turning, doors opening, implying both moments exist at once. The overlap reads less like memory and more like two frames laid on the same reel. Horror often uses temporal dislocation to cue cosmic dread. Here, the town works like a pocket where time loops and bleeds. That's why people act out old beats as if rehearsed. Number 11. Pennywise created Derry. Pennywise created Derry, this theory claims. The town didn't attract him. He seeded it and let it grow around his core. The meteor arrival predates the settlement, and that gap matters. Early records feel scrubbed or oddly thin, like someone curated the archive. Street grids and bridges seem to funnel foot traffic and runoff toward one point, the old well house, so every path, pipe, and storm drain ends where he waits. Founding myths cluster around that site. A mill goes up nearby. Civic signs tout sewer expansions as progress. Parades march past the block like a blessing. Industry feeds the river feeds the tunnels feed the core. It reads like urban design by a predator who maps flow, not charm. Fans point to narrative ecosystems, roads as veins, rituals as maintenance. You grease the system with ceremonies, fairs, and traditions, and the organism keeps pulsing. The twist reveals Derry as a shell grown around an alien pearl. The city is a costume he wears. Number 12. Pennywise is trapped in a loop. He can't stop coming back, this theory claims. That's not choice, that's sentence. The 27-year cycle reads like hunger, but the cadence is too clean. He retreats, heals, and re-emerges on cue, like a reset after a long timer. Spikes of activity, then silence. Then the same beats again. He taunts about sleep as if bound to it. Rituals and oaths seem to lock his phases. Break a promise, and the phase jolts. Keep it, and the phase holds. When the deadlights flare, they don't feel like magic. They look like a core process rebooting. Screen goes white, program relaunches, user control lost. Fans point to myth where monsters run on clocks. The sun pins vampires. Moons leash werewolves. Seasons chain harvest gods. Cycles aren't habits. They're leashes made of rules. The twist reveals a save-state loop under higher laws. He isn't resting. He's reloading. The cage wears a mask called appetite, and it keeps his story rolling in place. If the loop needs players to run, the next claim flips who depends on whom. Number 13. Pennywise needs the losers more than they need him. The hunters keep him alive, this theory claims. He needs the ones who push back because they carry the strongest charge. He toys with them instead of finishing them. He stages set pieces that spike belief. A house of scares, a sewer showdown, the timed phone calls. Why feed the resistance? Because their focus hardens the rules he runs on. Fans point to how he impersonates loved ones to keep them close, plants visions that pull them to key spots, then drags them back as adults when the charge fades. Antagonist behavior reads like farming. Cultivate, don't cull. Rotate the herd. Stress them, then let them recover. The yield improves. Predator-prey research shows top predators manage numbers to keep food stable. In stories, villains sustain protagonists to keep the engine turning. He acts like both, a manager and a showrunner. The twist reveals he needs high-belief minds to reboot the loop. The losers aren't just targets, they're batteries and keys. So what is he in the cosmic food chain? The last claim scales the threat. Number 14. Pennywise is a cosmic parasite. Not a demon, not a ghost. Pennywise is a parasite from outside the map, this theory claims. The deadlights don't act like magic. They act like process threads hijacking perception. He rides belief, edits memory, and nests in infrastructure. That's not sorcery. That's system-level access. Fans point to 3 beats that align too neatly. Arrival by meteor like a spore. Symbiosis with sewers, power, and civic routines. Adaptation through faces built to trigger host fear reflexes. Leper for Eddie, dead brother for Bill, bully for Mike. He scans, then renders the form that gets the best yield. Parasitology backs it. Parasites alter host behavior to ease feeding and spread. Toxoplasma dulls fear, so hosts stroll toward the cat. Scale that up. Town-wide apathy, selective blindness, and a calm that drops over bystanders on cue. It reads like manipulation, not malaise. The twist reveals an extra-dimensional parasite that grows a town as a body, loops time as metabolism, and harvests belief as energy. It reframes the entire narrative as an infection story where the city isn't scenery. It's the host tissue,